Hello folks, it's yes indeed, it's Adil bringing you a review of the FTSE 100 for the trading session Tuesday the 17th of November 2020. Be sure to visit my Twitter page for my daily market tweets, and be sure to join my website, or certainly subscribe or try to access my website, which is currently pending an update and being maintained. Okay. Let's get started in terms of European markets. So, we'll discuss European markets shortly. For now, it's the FTSE 100 mainly. But overall, European markets and global markets certainly rallied. Initially, we had a rally overnight, given the fact that China and Japan and all the Asian countries basically tried. I think there were a total of 15 countries that certainly secured a free trade deal. So that certainly triggered the rally, and obviously the vaccine euphoria continues, which certainly led into today's announcement from Moderna in terms of their obviously success rate or efficacy rate of 95% plus, and that certainly obviously triggered this rally here. You can see on the 10-minute chart, the FTSE 100 from 6,350, we had an amazing spike here up to 6,463 pivot high intraday. So very impressive to say the least. Okay, the unfilled gap remains below at 6,315. So watch out below. In terms of the bullish and bearish arguments, so oil price is certainly under pressure on the back of an increased production from Libya and obviously the lockdown concerns, which obviously has been negated from the vaccine euphoria. So again, bear that in mind. How long or how far the vaccine euphoria will go, given the fact that we've had quite a substantial rally already now. A lot of the bullish news has certainly been baked in. We've had a rally from 5,600 up to almost 6,500 now. So the weekly chart of the FTSE 100 certainly is into resistance. So solid resistance here. Around the previous pivot high has been 6,480. We didn't actually test that, so just bear that in mind. Even with the euphoria today, we didn't test it. So previous support equals resistance around this zone. So 6,500 solid resistance. I've actually gone short, so I'll certainly declare my bias. I've certainly gone short. I certainly think that a lot of the bullish news from the vaccine certainly has been priced in. Obviously, going forward, we'll have to see what the actual safety standards are, obviously side effects are, and obviously how fast they can get this to market, and obviously how successful that will be, and whether or not they can contain the current obviously rise in infections that we see right now that are leading to obviously lockdown. So bear that in mind. Now, the German DAX is something of an interest to me, given the fact that it didn't actually push higher. So just bear that in mind. Okay, that's an index that I generally tend to use for the strength in the FTSE. And as you can see here, even when the vaccine euphoria, we failed to take out that pivot high that we put in on the 9th of June. So just bear that in mind. And given the fact that we've had quite a substantial rally now in the FTSE, yes, obviously there has been a fundamental shift in terms of this vaccine, given the fact that it's a light at the end of the tunnel. But does that justify the actual, obviously, appreciation in the FTSE by almost 1,000 points? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. And if I was a trader, I certainly would be taking profit at these levels if I was holding from 5,500. Unless, obviously, you're expecting the best case scenario, given the fact that the BOE obviously has enacted QE, and Mr. Rishi has certainly enacted further stimulus, given the fact that the furlough scheme certainly has been extended. So again, those are factors that you must take into account. That's something that you would have to weigh up. Okay, my bias here certainly is bearish, and I'm certainly looking for a potential move lower. Okay, in terms of the fundamentals, I think I've certainly wrapped them up. Okay, so COVID cases in the UK did drop. So again, that's a slight bullish argument. But the main, obviously, star of the show has been the Moderna vaccine. But bear in mind also that Mr. Boris, the numpty, certainly has to self-isolate, so that certainly doesn't bode well. Also, we had the moron, Mr. Cummings, obviously his departure. Again, potential some sort of stability at the top, given the Brexit negotiations. So that certainly did help the FTSE to a large extent, given the fact that it gapped higher. But I think, from my understanding, the rally obviously overnight, vaccine euphoria, China signing a trade deal, stronger obviously growth numbers out of Japan and China certainly helped sentiment, and obviously the Moderna vaccine certainly triggered the major short squeeze that we've witnessed. 60-minute chart, just quickly give you an insight here. Again, it's just overextended from every metric that I can see. Hence the reason my bias is bearish, because I think a lot of the bullish news is baked into the cake now. If obviously we do retrace, and you are looking at around 6,300. Next support is 6,180. Previous resistance equals support at 6,130. And obviously if we do flush quite powerfully, which really, it's going to be very hard to envisage that, and the only way I can see that happening is if the US failed to enact the stimulus, given the fact that the vaccine news certainly has helped, and therefore fiscally minded, obviously Republicans, and obviously Trump certainly messes things up even further. It's very hard to see a massive reversal at present, unless obviously the safety standards or safety protocols obviously rise or certainly rear their heads with regards to these vaccines, and if there are obviously potentially adverse side effects, again that could certainly trigger a sharp reversal. But nevertheless, the FTSE 100 is at this juncture now. One of the reasons why I'm obviously bearish as well on the FTSE 100 is a FTSE 350. As you can see in the daily chart, we are now into resistance. We've had an amazing rally, so certainly looking at profit taking at this juncture. And again, you have to trade what you see, folks. So obviously you must make your own decision. For me, the risk reward certainly is good at this juncture. But again, the market could just continue to rip higher on the back of euphoria. Okay. And I could certainly be wrong. So I'm happy to accept that, and then my stop losses are in accordingly. Okay, FTSE 250, very impressive. Again, quite an impressive thrust. Again, the reason why I'm bearish is that we're into the 75% retracement of this big, massive sell-off post the, obviously, pandemic, etc. of 2020. And given the fact that we are approaching, well, we've certainly paced the 200 MA as well. So again, certainly looking for a bearish bias there on the FTSE 250. So that's basically my interpretation, folks, in terms of the FTSE 100. Certainly looking for a reversal on the FTSE itself. Okay, let's just quickly bring up the chart FTSE before you depart here and call it quits on this video. Okay, 10-minute chart. I'm looking at a potential move lower down to 6370. Potentially even gap fill at 6320. And then obviously we've got further support at 6290. Those will be my downside targets. And wish you the best for the trading session for Tuesday, the 17th of November. Goodbye now.